All right, here's a quick demo of how to use Eartrainer in Canvas. So the first thing that I want to do is add an assignment and give it a nice title. Wait, there we go. And then I can choose how many points. All these are Canvas settings, but the important thing is to choose the submission type and say Eartrainer. And it's very convenient if it's loaded in a new tab, not required. Once I publish this, I'll get this button, I can click it, and then it'll launch into the actual app and I can make some questions. So here's the types of dictations we all know and love. There's also singing and tapping. So let me just show you how a few of these work. So if I click rhythmic, it's going to start up a template for me to make the question. Right here is the answer key. So I can just type in the rhythm that I want my students to answer, and then I can choose the recording. So this could be something that anything really. Recording of a symphony, I want them to notate the rhythm of the timpani line. It could be from the Wonder Woman soundtrack. I mean, anything, right? Or I can just generate one, and this is just going to be like basic MIDI sound, right? So I'm going to do that. Click save. Okay. Now I've got my recording. Here's some instructions. Do the thing. Last part about setting up any of these questions is the question settings. So I can specify how many times I want them to listen to things, right? So if I want them to only listen to it 6 times total and be able to attempt the question once, I would set it up like this. Or if I want them to just have unlimited listenings, Spencer mentioned this would be used, could be used for extra practice. So in that case, probably this is better, but totally up to you. So let me click apply and take a look at melodic. So melodic is exactly the same. Only difference is I have a full staff to play around with, and I can change things about it. So obviously change the key, time signature, clef. So at the moment, treble, bass, and alto. I can add others if you'd like. How long it is, whether or not there's a pickup, things like this. And so here, maybe where custom recordings are a little bit more helpful, I don't know. But this could really be like anything, right? So string quartet playing the La Folia theme, like I talked to Spencer about that last week. Schubert songs, Mahler symphony, whatever. So you can upload any MP3 you want, and then whatever you put in here is just the answer key. So there's tremendous flexibility there. I'm just going to pick a random MP3. Okay, I think it's literally just 4 notes. So that's it for melodic. 2-voice is exactly the same as melodic. There's just 2 staffs, so there's a button here to tell which staff you're working on. Other than that, it's the same thing. Harmonic is like 2-voice, but you get Roman numerals underneath it. So in terms of functionality, the one thing about harmonic is that it's actually much easier to upload an XML file rather than going through typing in the notes. Okay, so like this is a horrible test progression that I have, but let's use it anyway. So C major, let's say we're in F major. The reason we set the key is so that it knows what tonicization to play. We'll see that in a second. Keyboard, generate recording. Okay, import. All right. So it's made an attempt at the Roman numerals. Just because this is so horrendous, let's just leave it. Listen. Okay. Now let's go take a look at what it looks like from the student's point of view. So I'm going to click save, and then we can go preview. All right, so all the things that I input are now set up, right? I got a nice title. And here's my 3 questions. So rhythmic dictation, click play. It's going to give me a count off at the tempo that the recording was generated at. Right, so it's ba, 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 ba. I can check myself. Okay, amazing, I got 10 out of 10. I can retry it if I want. Just to show you that the program is lenient. It's lenient to an extent. If you get the right onset, it will be forgiving as long as it's not like, you know, it was actually a whole note, but you put a 16th note. That's a little bit too far, but kind of within 50%, it's forgiving, right? Same thing with if I would have put 12 sextuplets tied together, it would have counted it correct. So as long as the onset and most of the duration is correct, it'll count it correct. Melodic dictation, the difference here is I've got a way to tonicize, right? And so I click play, it's going to play the count off, and then it's going to play the recording. So the only time it doesn't play a count off is when you use a custom recording. That's because it's hard to tell what the tempo is. I think it's like technically possible, but it's difficult. So I just leave that up to the instructor. And right, so the difference, the one other measure of feedback here is I've got 2 dimensions. So I've got rhythm and melody. And so if I get the rhythm wrong, it's going to say, okay, wrong note, missing note, wrong rhythm, stuff like this. But then if I actually get the melodic component wrong, it's going to say wrong note, right? So the rhythm is fine, but the actual pitch was off. Okay, last one, harmonic dictation. So this also got a tonicization. And one difference here is that there's no rhythmic palette to mess around with. It's purely, you just click and then that's going to be the note. So there's no choosing durations. But yeah, let's listen to this. Horrible. Right. Awesome. So I think, right, and then something like this, but you get the idea, right? I think this ended up being a 4/6 and then 5/6, 4/6, yeah. So check answer, obviously a lot of things wrong, missing the bottom note, so that's wrong, wrong bottom note, wrong bottom note, wrong bottom note, right. So it's not even giving me feedback because there's nothing there. But if I added in some Roman numerals, like if I said this instead was a 4/6, I said this is a 5/4/2. Let's just, make a mess of it. Then it's going to say, okay, well, the inversion's wrong, the Roman numeral's wrong, top note's wrong, and the bottom note's wrong. So everything's wrong. And then once I click submit assignment, not right now because this is only like a teacher preview, but when a student actually accesses this through Canvas, they click submit assignment, and then the grade goes straight to the grade book. And when you view it like in SpeedGrader or something like that, you can see their actual submission. Okay, I think that's everything, so thanks.